Hello, Navigator. Welcome to Navigating Life with Viwe, and I am Viwe. Thank you so much for keeping us talking. I have missed you. It's so great to be back here. And we're back here with another topic. Today, we're talking about living without living, that messy in between phase where you're not together and not yet fully apart as well. And today, joining me for the conversation is the usual tribe. But today, I want to do things differently. I want them to introduce themselves. So we will start with the lady to my left. Hey, Tada.
Hi, Navigator. How are you? Look at me, blushing with you. And Lundus Puka. I've been divorced for more than 4 years now, but I checked out 3.5 years before divorce.
Welcome, Luntu.
Thank you.
And to the gentleman to your right.
Yes, hello, Navigator. We've been doing this for a while now. It's been a year.
It has been a year. And I also, let's just pop to that.
Actually,
Happy
birthday.
Thank you for reminding us.
It's
Happy
been a
birthday to us.
year. Wow. Thank you so much for your support. Yes, I don't mind reintroducing myself to you again, Navigator.
I love it.
It's my way to, and for the purposes of this topic, it's been just under 4 years being divorced. And yeah, we're reflecting a little bit on that as well.
I think mine is going to be the most interesting.
And last but not least.
I think mine is going to be
Yes,
the most
Zongi.
interesting.
Talk to us.
Okay, cool. So, good Brian, good Ndevu. And wow, man, married twice. Okay, so now that I'm married twice, it means I was divorced. Divorced for 10 years. Yeah, you know, life continues. Life continues. Married a second time, and I'm a dad of 4.
And we want to know your checkout period.
10 years since divorce. Checkout period before there was a good 6 years. Took a good 6 years to check out completely. I won't lie.
Yeah.
We emotional creatures. Yes, some people might think in Dobana, and not even to delve into the topic too quickly, but one of the reasons why is there are men who are emotional creatures, and there are men who do try to salvage whatever it is that that's there, even if it's not there. So yeah,
I love it. And I want to say to you, Navigator, who finds themselves in this checking out space, pull your chair closer because it is about to get hot in here. Okay. I checked out a year. And I know it might sound like a long time. Trust me, it's not the longest time. I've heard other people. I mean, your story is 4 years. Somebody counted 6 years.
hey, bro.
I'm not quite sure what happens in the 6 years. And I want to know, what did that look like for you, Lundu? You know, that you said you checked out for how long?
4 years before I actually divorced.
Before you actually got divorced. And in that period, I mean, what did that look like?
It's survival mode.
Okay.
Nothing changes. You just wake up one morning, you're like, I cannot keep doing this. I cannot keep doing this to myself.
Yeah.
But with the same breath, there's a lot of things that we put into consideration. The kids, the families, the friends, our lives. Because remember, marriage is about a life you aspire to live, build.
Yeah.
Community.
So all of those dreams, you then get to a point where you realize that, you know what, the dream has crashed or it was dead in the water. Now, you still get up, you still go make the coffee if you make coffee, you still make breakfast, you still entertain the friends, you still talk about school routines. You continue as if nothing has changed, but something has changed within you. You now no longer want to be touched.
What? Oh, so sex is one of the things that become complex in the checked out stage.
It becomes, okay, I think as women, we are emotional creatures.
Yeah.
So when we are then being intimate with our partners, we give a part of ourselves. And at times you become selfless, you know? But when you check out, it's selfish. It's about me, my desire, my pleasure, mine.
Oh, so you define checking out as almost a stage where you stop cooperating and you start looking inwards. looking after your own personal needs. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't know how that looks like. I mean, for people who've checked out for 6 years. No, I do want Brian to come in on this one. Just 6 years, because one would imagine, in a marriage situation, it's two people coming together.
Yeah.
Hopefully for the purposes of growing together.
For sure.
Of extending.
Life of forever.
And planning lives together.
Yeah.
Now, I can't imagine what 6 years might look like if you are now checked out. Who keeps the lights on? How does that cooperation happen for 6 years? If I won't even ask you about the silly posturepedic. I just want to know logistically. How is that? How do you run that?
Look, when we started, the first thing I said was that men are also emotional creatures, right? Yeah. Now, in my instance, it happened in a different province, right? We were in Gauteng, been together for a good 9-10 years. No, we've been together for not 9-10 years. We've been together for a while, just under 9 years. And when the separation happened, it was a matter of, okay, cool, you go through the 5 different phases of any breakdown, any psychological breakdown that you're going to go through, any trauma. So it's going to be the anger, the denial. You go through everything all the way right down to acceptance, right? Yeah. So I can honestly say, no matter between 2009 and 2013, 4 years, I was still trying to, yes, we separated, but we still have responsibilities towards each other.
Okay.
Right? We have responsibilities in terms of abantwana, the upkeep of the family structure. So in the morning, wherever it is that I'm staying, I'm still now I need to wake up and go pick up the kids and take them to school and structure my day around Londo Leyo Njalo. And it's just one of those things. So it takes a while to check out. So that happened between then and 2013 when I moved, when eventually I was like, actually, I'm shifting provinces. I'm leaving Gauteng. But even when I got here, but now emotionally, you like flip, okay. This is not the emotional part of checking out. But you were still being practical. So you're still with this person. Between 2009 and 2013, you're still with this person, you're seeing them on a regular basis, you have the kids every second week, so you're still in contact with this person. And you don't get to fully process the gravity of what it is that has pulled you guys apart, what has brought this to an end. Right. And then from that particular year, when I moved back to the Eastern Cape, it then became about flip. I'm no longer with this person, and they are no longer here. Now that emotional distance starts to come. The reality of that emotional distance starts to come to the fore. And now you realize flip. Okay, cool. And you now this is your out of desperation, right? Let's start. You shift provinces, come this way. Let's start over from this side. You know what I mean?
Again.
Oh, you're still wanting to try again?
Yeah, of course.
So you were checked out, but not totally checked out.
Checked out of the house at that point.
Oh,
right?
Of
the family unit, of the relationship, you flipping trying.
I feel like you weren't totally checked out. So.
No, you were checking. The one party was checked out. Yeah. Sorry. That was it.
Oh, I like the dynamic you're introducing now.
Yeah.
Because there's
one
two
party
people
can check
here.
out. Yes. The other can still be.
Right.
Yeah, and
I
still
love
want
that.
to fight for.
But how confusing should that be? I mean, you married. Surely there is a way of doing things around the house. Surely there is a system that is established for the functionality of the home, and the family. Yeah. But now you're finding that you have checked out, or she has checked out. And how, because of course, with families, one thing I know that makes families functional is holding each other accountable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Primarily, if you are my husband, I need to know where you are, especially if it's past the time that you're usually home. How do those dynamics play? Are you still, can you still ask questions? When are you getting home? Where are you? Yes. Who are you with? You know what I mean? How confusing is that transition? And how long was it for you again? The checking out period?
Oh,
Hey, why
It,
not
it, it took 6
Well,
years for me to
data.
check out. Mna. So it was a whole transition. It's a transition, guys.
it's over half a decade.
You were checking out for
a
5
decade.
years.
Yeah,
Guys, I need you guys to balance me.
that's when it was. Yeah,
life,
I,
bro. It's
I-
life.
I was
No,
not the
it's
first-
life.
I was not the first to check out, right? But to answer your question,
No, but you know what? I actually find so much sense in what you're saying. You weren't the first person. Can it?
Yeah.
And I want you, when you respond
you
to
can
actually.
both check out of the relationship.
That's the question I wanted
Right.
you to also address.
So-
Okay, is it one person checking out on the other, or is it both people checking out? Maybe that's the clarity you need to offer as you're answering.
In every separation, there is an initiator,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And the one that tries to salvage things.
Yeah.
All right. But there comes a time when the one who's trying to salvage things realizes that this is irredeemable. And then they decide that, okay, actually, let bygones be bygones. Must live as again.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have been
Yeah.
set together.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have.
So whatever must be, must be.
Yeah.
So it gets to that level because you see this person not being themselves, not being what they always had been to this union, right? There are character aberrations. There's newfound attitude, not necessarily attitude that is meant to destroy, but something that says, look, I'm retreating back to self. All right, I'm gonna do what pleases me. And you see that to a certain respects, they do their dutiful chores. You know, they still serve you food in a tray. There's still a level of respect that is accorded to you. Yes,
If you're lucky.
If
you're lucky.
it's different strokes
If
for
you're
different
lucky.
folks.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
one thing, my experience was that women, when it comes to intimacy, it's got to do with what's going on in the background of the relationship. If there's unhappiness, if there is dis-ease, if there is disagreement, you're not getting any.
No,
I
bro.
actually want to check with you, just right back on what you've just said, that if your woman is beautiful,
Yeah.
right, and still sticking to her end of the stick, in other words, she still makes that coffee. She still, she still does whatever that she was doing, and she's beautiful, like you've said.
Yeah.
Is it a checkout? Can we really call it a checkout?
Oh, for sure.
How so? You know what I mean?
There are certain things that do not matter much.
Yeah.
That do not express her conviction about butting out of the relationship. There are certain emotional things, like intimacy. She doesn't want to give it to you. She's checked out.
Bro.
All right. She does not want to celebrate birthdays with you. She's
Bro.
checked out.
Yeah.
Right.
Anything special. I've been invited to a wedding.
Without you?
Yeah.
Actually,
Like
maybe with
the
you,
person
but I
that
wanna go
the
alone.
person that invited you knows in Ndobana you're married. But the mere fact that someone is saying to you, Ndobana, I've been invited to a wedding. Normally it would be we have been invited to a wedding. So sorry Wes, I didn't mean to.
Now, our mom becomes my mom.
Yeah.
Things become singular again.
My
No
brother,
more plural.
my brothers, my sisters.
Yes.
Kanjani?
It's not your
Are we
mom,
not
it's
family?
our mom.
Yeah, Uma.
That must be difficult, and I want to check in with all of you, right?
Yeah.
That given that you are now looking at it with hindsight, there's somebody who's sitting there who is perhaps checked out, or who notices that la ngihleli khona nje vele nje kucheckwe out.
Akusafani nakudala.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Is it
Umuntu ngena house to house ecelwe hit.
is the checkout always final? I mean, having lived through marriages, there are times and this is not only for marriages, it could be for long-term relationships as well. Is the checkout always final? Because I know that we cannot always get into relationships and stay in relationships without having issues from time to time. From time to time, we're not talking, we're not in good terms, we're not having
Yeah.
sex, we're not doing things together. I'm leaving you and I'm going home because I'm upset at you. When do we then make the distinction? Now this Nolundu is a checkout, and it has started. And when it reaches, and I still want to find out from you, which point does it actually get to? But that's a follow-up question to this. Is it always final, when people aren't doing these things together? Is it a checkout? Because somebody else might be experiencing this and confused and thinking, is she still mad at me? Is he still mad at me?
Yeah.
Has she checked out?
Okay. So, Navigator, I can only talk about my experience. And
Yeah.
For me, it's final.
Okay.
I'm the person that fights till the end.
Okay.
But when I checked out, I then was like, I am not doing this. I just need to find a way how I can keep the marriage, even if keep the performance of it with dignity.
Some kind of element of being civil.
Yes, civility, dignity, because in this marriage, it's not just about me.
Yeah.
There's 4 little girls who didn't ask for this. There's 2 sets of parents, right? My parents, his parents.
Yeah.
They didn't ask for this.
Yeah.
There's siblings, there's aunts, there's people that actually came to the wedding, and when we were doing our vows, we vowed to this. So I'm checked out. Sure, I make sure that his socks are clean. For me,
You
it was
still
bread.
wash your socks?
No, laundry. Guys, we outsource.
Okay.
We outsource. You can't be master of everything. You can't be mistress of everything.
Okay.
But it's little things like my ex-husband liked his bread buttered even on the sides.
What? I've seen it all, heard it all. What?
No. You know when you butter the bread?
Yeah.
And then the sides. And I still make
And then
lunches for him.
every time he takes a bite, he has to butter that side. that is
Yes,
left
he
on
wants
the
the side,
butter.
yes. And I still made lunch. I still made lunch. And
Okay.
I remember the one time I was on the freeway going to work, and he calls, and I answer the phone, and he then complains. And I just rolled my eyes. I'm like, the shit again.
Wow.
You would rather leave it. And I
What
had
what
to
is the
bite my-
complaint about the
About the
sandwich?
unbuttered bread.
about the unbuttered edges of the bread.
Nigga, do you not have flipping hands?
No, wait. So in my head, I'm like,
Sorry.
does he really
how
want me to tell him how
how
I'm
did
feeling?
you miss it? Because clearly you'd mastered it for a long time. Were you intentional on
It's the
annoying
checking
him?
out.
Okay.
Ah.
Okay.
Oh, so it's like wow. Okay.
No, it's a because you just have to do it.
I
But
understand.
so there's no extra care.
Yeah.
There's no extra love. Like if you then were the person that makes notes, right? Like love me, have a blessed day. You put a verse or you put a little message
Yeah.
in his life.
Ni chata cute. Ni bhala ne love message.
Oh, Viwe, listen, bro. Viwe,
Listen.
listen, bro.
No,
like
wait.
you do.
Just nithi xa nisenza ii-lunch zabantu benu nibhale ne-message. Yes, anasoze ndingashiywa.
Dude, listen.
Fucking
Ma-
little hearts.
Lundu, I remember, and she will attest to it today. Every time she started a new job, she knew Dobana there's gonna be some office furniture that comes from me. That's just gonna, even if it's one of those calendars that you roll up ngobako every day, right? So we am change January
Cutesy. You guys are
no,
cute.
but now the thought behind that is Ndobana, I must remember to change it, and you know Ndobana, my husband gave me this, my person gave me this, so it's that little thing Ndobana, you're away from me for 8 hours, let me be top of mind. So you fall in love with the person, dude, like a diary. Shit, I remember we used to stay in Northcliffe, right? This is like 2002. And Coxsacred CDs back then. USBs. And I used to buy her CDs and I'd hide notes inside the CDs. I remember the one note she found flipping 6 years later. And it was written, it was dated as well. If I get inside, I think it was a Tony Braxton or flipping some kind of CD, but like a note that just said the day you find this type of stupid ish, you know what I mean? And then she's there going through CDs, she's on some, Brian, what's this? I'm like, oh shit, yeah. A message from 6 years prior.
Romantic.
It's not even about the romance, it's the investment that you put into a relationship, right? Now, when you check out, this is what I'm coming to. When you check out, you think of little things like this, right? Because now, who's going to do that? Who's doing that for you, right? that you ask yourself, you checked out instantly. There's one party that checked out instantly. So the first thing you ask yourself is, flip. Where did I fail? What did I stop doing?
We'll get to that. We'll
Okay,
get
cool.
to that. We'll get
Cool.
to that. Where's
Sure.
I see Nolund was making sandwiches still.
Yeah.
And I understand the performance around it. Sometimes they are the kids, and the kids,
Yes.
these beautiful kids of ours, Lord. You know, they'll be like, Mom, Dad, putting you guys together. And
And we sit together on the couch.
meantime, you guys are very clear on we're not talking. What did you find awkward that you still had to continue doing, even though you realized actually, you know, we're not moving, we're not talking, we are definitely not on the same boat.
Look, it's just a matter of continuing doing the things that you had been doing all along. But you realize that sometimes it's given an attitude that too little, too late. There is nothing that you're doing now that is going to convince me otherwise. I can see right now you clutching at straws just so that I can stay. And now that I've decided that I want to go, and you know that I want to go, you are trying to sell an idea that you can take care of me. And I know this will be short-lived, you know? And kwakhona, I was married to a very calm, spirited person.
Oh, Nkosi, I'm not oviwe.
Ndingatshatanga nonondatshaza womntu kwethu.
You didn't just call me a.
No.
Viwe, you'll be shocked that there are stark similarities between. Okay, I will not say anything. I was married to somebody who is image conscious. Who has a lot of elements that attracted me to her, right? And still kept those, even though we were going through the storm. She kept a calm demeanor. She was very
sometimes
self-aware and very how can I say, careful on how we are perceived.
Sure.
So whenever we appear,
Oh, okay. Yeah. You would never tell.
no one should
Appearances.
tell
Yeah.
that our dirty linen should not be in public.
For sure. Oh, nice one.
All right.
Nice one.
Yeah, she was very
Nice one.
protective.
Nice one.
Very protective.
Nice
But
one.
I knew in my heart of hearts that there was fire we were going through. So that fire is raging inside, and I have to put up a facade. You understand? And I started being the one. I don't know. Tell me if I'm going ahead of myself. I started being the one instead who was trying to say, please, everybody come help me put out this fire. I go to the sisters, I go to the aunts, I go to the mother-in-law, I go to my dad and say, hey guys, it's tough here at home. Please come help me.
Where's?
This person is walking away. Then they say, no, but you guys are fine. You don't look like the type that would fight. I'm like, that's exactly the problem. Come see.
Hey, where's?
okay.
Okanye, you just get the response into deal with your own issues because I'm gone here. And you don't get and you're knocking on a door where you just get rejection instead of sorry.
No, but when you checked out, guys, the sorry is late.
Yeah, no,
Sorry,
look.
sorry is just a word that you throw.
Well, we know that now.
We know that now.
You know, when I hear
We
them
know that
speaking, I
now.
realized that my husband actually checked out year one of our marriage.
Ha.
Really? How?
Is that
what
what
do you
he
mean?
told you, or is that what you?
No, he's never said anything. He's never said it. But as we're talking, I'm replaying. There's certain instances and certain situations that I'm replaying. I'm like, hayi man, lo bhuti wa check out, but akasozatsho till today sozatsho. But actually, Papa, year one that check out time.
And also, guys, I think we should define the levels of checking out. I think is the aesthetics is into that are physical, in essential in terms of we usually have beef stroganoff on Thursday, we have pizza on Friday. Now when you make sandwiches on Thursday and you fry chicken on Friday. Like those are just the changes where into bana okay senhlabekisa. I think for me where checking out is when there becomes a third party right? That is when you decide, okay, I've checked out of this relationship. That final nail in the coffin for me is when there's now a umtu or koyo ekaleni yobana, okay, now there's no longer you. And now seteta about obviously where the sex is involved, where there is no longer now sex between the initial couple and one person has checked out to an extent where there's someone else. And I think that
I want to come in. I want to come in. I want to
yeah,
come in
extramarital. I think that's like the final coffin in checking out. Dude, you should realize.
I think we've defined extramarital affairs in another episode.
Yeah.
And for me, I wanna maybe ask a question: that is the third person. Should they even matter if we are talking checking out? Because checking out is between two people, right? I think for me that's the most important question, because worrying about what the next person does, does it not extend to toxicity then? Because surely both of you know when you have checked out. And I don't know, should we then incorporate the third person into this checking out?
I don't believe we should, guys.
Mamela, let me eat in Nabis, and I just said it, and you've just asked the question, so let me respond to it. Sorry, Loans. What I'm saying is, for the person that has been checked out on, if at all anything you are wondering, right, whether this person has really checked out on you, the final nail in the coffin is, dude, realize Mugundobana, they are continuing with someone else, so you are no longer in the picture.
Yes, I'm asking this question particularly because I know third persons tend to catch fires on things they didn't start. Do you understand? If you've been checking out 6 years, if you've been checking out 5 years, and your partner now finds themselves in the arms of someone in the 4th year, can you honestly pin this on the fact that there is a third person? Because I do think that
What I'm saying,
okay, guys,
what
I
I'm
know
saying
you guys.
is,
Wait,
this is the acceptance.
we're gonna have to have a sequence here because all of you are excited about this topic. I'm gonna have to ask you guys because I need to rephendula no three.
Sorry. No, what I'm saying is,
Let's have a
if at all
sequence.
you were doubting, Yisho, uzuyazi ngokundobana akusekho ubuyela. There's no more coming back for you.
I quite disagree with what Brian
I
said.
love.
No, absolutely.
Let's let her disagree with
Go
you.
ahead.
I quite disagree with you because there is a navigator like me who checked out because there was no third person.
Okay.
There was actually no, hey, how you doing? You're cute. I like your legs. I like how you speak. You just check out because you are like my mental health, my sanity, my dreams for my life, not even the kids, me. I'm never going to reach, not with this person.
I understand.
There is no third person. You check out and you still continue in that checking out. You are day to day and you're just looking for your exit strategy.
I understand. I understand. Thank you, Londo. Wes,
Yes.
please come in on this.
V.
Are we nailing the
I'm
third
always-
person on the
Yes.
cross as well?
No.
Okay.
No. But when you're going through the fire, people are always going to look for an excuse to justify the disagreement that is happening. A third person under no circumstances is the cause.
Thank you.
He is a byproduct or he is a symptom of the deeper thing that is happening between
I
two
love
people.
that. I love that
All right?
because maturity.
However, it doesn't appear that way. They can be thought of as a root cause for the breakdown. And that is why when people actually find that there is a third person, they go around saying, "Oh, I caught her. That is why she's leaving me." And that's not the case.
It couldn't be.
Absolutely.
It couldn't be because I think maturity.
And kwakhona, we are different personalities. I could be a narcissist,
Yeah.
right? And I say, this woman is leaving me because she knows what bad she has been up to. Yet I know very well that she had valid grievances against me, which I wanted to erase from this whole discourse or this whole dispute or disagreement.
And I do want to say everybody carries their own agency. If I now come and date and marry you,
Right.
that is a relationship between us, right? And how we honor it and dishonor it is between us.
Yes.
The third person, whoever, when they exist, I'm not saying they're not the problem. but I'm saying they are not the source of the problem. They
Exactly.
cannot be the source of the problem. If people are checking out, because also I'm invested in this question because it would also, indicate whether or not in my personal circumstances I cheated or not, because in the year that I was checked out of the marriage, there came a point where I realized that I am never going to be intimate with this partner of mine again.
Sure.
Yeah.
Where we divorced at the time, we were a few months away from it.
Yeah.
I'm talking now September and I'm getting divorced in December when I started something with somebody else. Now, what do we define that as? Do we then say, because whoever registered my marriage at Home Affairs had not deleted it, then that qualifies as cheating in a state where somebody is no longer in a functional marriage. There is no longer cooperation. There is no sleeping, because I think that's something else we need to there is no sleeping in the same room. And in my case, there was no sleeping in the same house as well, It was 2 properties. So, Brian and Diagovuya Chisega, fire me.
Listen.
Fire me. Nail me on the wall. Come for me. Guys.
Listen, I fully agree with you, right?
Talk to me.
And I agree with everyone. And Lundu, I think you misunderstand me when I say Indobana when there's a third person.
Oh, by the way,
right?
I do want to say something.
Yeah.
There was a rebound. It ended terribly, by the way.
Yeah.
It was a lesson for me.
So it was a
if you
feeler.
judge, okay. It was a lesson for me. But
Continue playing squash, my man. You shall always be the rebound nest. Squash for you. Squash for you. Squash. No.
Come with it.
But coming back to everything that we are agreeing on, I think, guys, you misunderstand me when I bring in the third person element, right? I'm not saying,
I love that you did, because
I'm not
it
saying
landed
that
us-
he's the conduit.
Yeah.
Hey, he data partners versus Abaleka, ne? I'm not saying he's the conduit, right? Okanye he's the conductor of, he's the one conducting the choir in Dobana Mshiye. What I'm saying is, if you have been left ushiyiwe,
Chisa.
the moment kusibako omnye umntu in your ex-person's life, yihlo, start to accept, okanye you must accept it into Dobana, there's no room for you anymore.
I love that position.
There's no room for
I
you
love that
anymore.
position.
And Lomdulona had checked out even before. So if at all you were doubting and you were thinking, Dobana, you can still come and make things up. Dude, now there's another person.
And Ziyaqhuma.
And Ziyaqhuma pa.
There's
So
a
when
future there.
Yeah, there's a future there. There's a path.
Right. So in a few words, I just want us to maybe just define,
Sure.
what characterized, your checking out. What were the things that you remember so well about, oh, this and this and this and this, were the things that stand out in my mind when I think about that period, that 4 years, that 3 years, that 2 years, my 1 year. I also know that in that space, for me personally, we were very ugly to each other. The language we used with each other wasn't nice.
Yeah.
It was a period where also, it was confusing to me because I didn't know where accountability was. I do believe that he may have checked out before I did, because I still think the way I cried over certain things, was clearly because I was left in the bus alone, The other things were how we had to then perform to the gallery, to the kids, mom and dad, and they always made sure, because kids can read, they can read that
Kids are smart,
mama
bro.
no dada, there
Kids
are
are very
issues
smart.
here, and they would ask for things that would definitely have to have both of us there.
Yeah.
But I also know there wasn't any much communication. I also know, look, I'm not going to speak about the silly postoperatic because it ended for me quite ceremoniously for me. It's a day I wouldn't forget in my life ever. With my very orchestrated and organized tada that wasn't received, So I remember those things. It was.
It's okay.
I tried. Because I think for me, even at the hit of...
Bro, come on.
Big misfire.
It was misfired. I think for me, till the very last day of checking out, I wanted it to work. hence kukho le misfire ihlekwa.
That's the misfire.
Would you want to indulge the navigator
No.
at home?
No.
So that they get context
No.
as clear as it is to us.
No, but I think for me, and let me maybe finish my characterization of checking out. For me, it had to be different properties, you know, and we still had to come together to act. You know, I would be there early morning, make sure kids are okay.
Yeah.
But I also didn't want to deny him, you know, his marital right to access to my body. And I prepared a surprise. It misfired, navigators, because then holy AKs ba. So when it was
Something that was almost guaranteed success.
I feel like every guy would take it. You know, every guy, guys, you guys take even from people that you don't love or don't have connections with.
There are people who are selective, man. We don't just give
Clearly,
it
that one was selective, but I mean, it misfired, and I learned from there that checking out is really serious. Yeah, I mean, if somebody goes on, I can't do this, you're like, but anyway, I still survived, and I'm still here.
You're stronger.
More beautiful.
Hell
I
And
deliver
hell
more
yeah.
advanced
Speaking
tadas
of
now.
speaking of beauty, when there's a hostile environment between a beautiful
Dandimbi
woman-
mna, by the way, at the time. Dandimbi. I think your
Won't
physical,
be.
your physical
your beauty does evaporate.
your
when there's
physical
fights.
beauty leaves you in that
Your beauty does
surviving
evaporate.
spot. Your physical beauty,
Vim.
it goes
It
because
evaporates.
something doesn't connect with something. Uxa uzijonga esifumanisa uba, "Hey, ndisenda bambi nobambi."
China, not even Nivea. Hello, Nivea. We need a sponsorship. Not even Nivea. Not even Nivea.
You can't be safe na
Not-
makeup kosa stage.
China,
Ungayifihla
stronger
uncane.
advanced night repair does fuck
Uvela
all.
uxwebe.
I know.
Anyway, but
Come
what
on.
characterized your checkout space? You know, what are the things that stand out in Olundu?
One of the things, ziplate ezazinyuka efrijini zingade ziphele.
Wow.
But there was plenty of
No,
food. I
thank you.
love leftovers. Mna. I would have been happy.
Kwenza kuphakela bra, uphakele ngomvulo. Ulahleke mhlawumbe ulahleke ngeCawa. Uphele ngomvulo Sunday meal. Yeah, Sunday. Yeah, Monday. Yeah, Tuesday.
Fridge igcwele ngoku.
Yeah, Wednesday. Hi guys, fridge kaloku. That for me, that was like this guy's. He's checked out,
Yeah.
and
I don't even eat your food type thing.
you know.
Damn.
And even when he comes home, ndifuna isili kaloku was 30 ne.
Oh, you wanted silly. Oh.
Actually,
I
guys, how many
know.
times?
I know.
Navigator, ayixabananga eSouth. Sixabane eNorth. Ayixabani eSouth.
Dayilinga lanto it misfired, okay?
Ekaviwe yami
And
isifaya
says-
It's
Risha.
different strokes for different.
Yeah, it clearly was a different
seriously.
stroke.
It will misfire. I mean, there are moments where it will misfire. But remember, we were in a marriage. We were in an agreement that said we will not go to bed angry. We will then,
Yeah.
we will not go to bed angry. We will sort out our issues. We will not be mad at each other to the point that sivimbane our rights, right? We separate the two, church
Wow.
and state.
Wow.
So,
What characterized yours? Thank you, Lund.
For me, it was realizing that there was no going back. We had crossed the Rubicon. It didn't matter what I did, what interventions I had sought. There was a definite decision and decisiveness that this is coming to an end. So I had to retreat to reality that there's nothing I can do. I cannot work miracles. I just need to collaborate with the end of the marriage in mind. So I had to sign all the divorce papers. I had to sign all the sheriff's documents.
Oh, you were served.
I was.
I was served
I was.
too.
I was.
I am
and
Brian.
it came.
I was served.
Yeah. So that is
savage.
that is you know when the sheriff even feels sorry for you because you're not fighting anything, he says, "Bro, are you okay? Can't you do something about it? Can't you prevent this?" So my point is, you try and test things because we one went towards the final stage the first time round, and we both realized at that point that we still want this thing
Yeah.
to work out.
Yeah.
And then we cancelled all the papers and stuff. We were starting afresh. Look, still didn't work out. So I was satisfied that I had done everything I could to save the situation, and I could not do it any further. Yeah.
Eish, bro. My heart goes out to you.
Yeah.
My heart goes out to you. You know, there's something about guys, when they go through something, you're like, ubasizele. Yet, way,
Your sympathy, Pella, right there.
way.
At least Weza says, I had done everything I could to save.
Uh-huh.
Uyabo?
Yeah.
So
From my side.
from your side, I would have liked the opportunity where my ex-husband would have then said, all right, I am getting a job. I am getting all the things that you want because I want to save this. I shame.
I feel like I'll come to you, Brian, just now. Given that mine happened quickly and I was the recipient of papers, and yes, I did try to stall it because, routine is comfortable, with the same person is comfortable. When I was fighting the divorce, I don't even think it was from a place of being conscious of what I wanted. I was just comfortable in the routine. With the same person and not open to something new. So for me, I don't think there's anything shame like who has had a second chapter. I love how my story rolled out. Like it felt like it just happened to me. But I feel like the minute I landed my feet on the other side, it made sense. It made a lot of sense how it had to happen, how no second chance was possible. And it's still a perfect something that could have ever happened to me. It's the most perfect thing that could have happened to me, the actual divorce.
Yeah.
And what characterized your...
Let me start with how you speak about routine and how you wanted the familiarity of routine. Because you are not looking for someone else that's new. Kaloku, you have just been, the carpet has just been pulled from under your feet.
Oh, absolutely, honey.
So now
and the one thing I want to add, you know, I don't know if you've experienced this directly or through other people. The one person that if in any argument was the one asking for forgiveness because they've done something, now becomes the one who's saying bye. And you're like, balance me. Like, even when that I can,
so what
I
are you
kept
sorry for?
feeling like,
What are you sorry
Now
for?
that we've decided to
I
stay,
mean, you've always been
what-
like, please don't go.
What are you sorry
Don't
for?
go.
What are you sorry for? And yet you are still
And then
continuing to
Kengoku,
do what you are sorry
without
about.
warning, and I mean, if you are with another woman, the expectation for me is still the same as you were with the other one.
Yeah.
That ndakubhaqa, you run to me. You know, bantwana bamama, I don't know that thing. Uzange saspiti sala game yasezilalini. But when someone is checked out, they're like, andizi chomi.
The rug has just been
But
pulled
they're
from
not
under your
supposed to
feet.
do that. I'm not used to that.
V.
I'm used to you running
The
to me.
rug-
Because Kaloko, you're still in that. You're still in that situation. You're still hopeful that
Yes.
it's not perfect. It's not hunky dory.
Yeah.
But you know what? We're gonna weather the storm. This is an itch. We're gonna go past it. This is just a tempest, but we will. You are hopeful.
You know that trick where they put a cloth and a glass on
Yeah.
top,
Uh-huh.
and
They pull the cloth. And then the glass
and the
remains standing.
and the glass remains standing. That's exactly what.
That's what happened.
But then sometimes they pull that cloth and the glass just breaks.
It just depends whether your backbone is up or not.
Exactly. Now,
Do you know you?
Where
Do you know you?
Where I'm
Do you
coming,
know you?
where I'm coming to with this, Renavi, is the rug has just been pulled from underneath your feet, and you're still trying to balance. Oh yeah,
standing.
what the hell is going on? Next thing, now you're being served with papers, which I was as well.
yeah.
And I'll tell you the most interesting thing about being served with those papers. It was the biggest point in my career in terms of communications. Right, I'm presenting to the CEO, the board, and Zonki heads. As I'm about to, I've got my entire presentation. I'm like, yo, man, return on investment, yo, chonga, they invested this much. I've got 10 times. as much. I'm like, yeah. Sheriff from China.
And also, there's something called about a sheriff's call, hey?
As I'm about to start this presentation,
Caught me at a
it
barber
is, bro. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, bro. Meeting here, 9:15. Go to Brian. You are required at reception. Heart palpitation. I couldn't do my own presentation.
Guys, there's something. Can we talk about the sheriff's call?
My colleague had to come through. Archer Indobana guys, Brian has just had a traumatic experience. I was going through that presentation. Bro, I broke down
Guys,
at the worst time. So
you-
having that rug pulled under your feet.
Guys, just can we talk about the sheriff's call?
Yeah.
Just how cold is it?
Ha!
Guys,
What?
I wouldn't know. All I know.
What?
Oh, you served. You,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
served.
yeah. Yeah,
You
you wouldn't
served.
know. Yeah, shit.
Yeah, man. Firstly, why are sheriffs looking for me?
It changes your life. It changes your life. If you don't get heart palpitations,
Look, and sometimes you see it
man of
coming,
steel.
you know that you're going to get that call. But when it actually comes,
My man.
then you like, I knew it was going to happen, but I didn't think it would sting
that much.
this much.
Okay, so I just have a question, and it's a good thing that I am.
You are
sitting
the
with-
server. It's a good thing you are the server.
Brian, lapho ndimhlaba ibukela lento. I still have kids with him.
It just came out.
No, it's just good to understand because for in my case, right? I think the sheriff for a month or so couldn't get a hold of him.
Yeah.
And go to akafumaneki, and my lawyers would come back and say, hey, usheriff yamsizela because ushushu.
Yeah.
Or sometimes he's really, really out. Like he's so.
Oh no! Look, the second time the sheriff came around, now I was like, take it straight back to inner manager.
Okay.
Fine.
Now, for me,
First time around this
I'm now asking because you guys are talking about how cold, how clinical
Yeah.
the call is, and how you never, like when it comes,
Yeah.
it becomes surreal. Like, why not? Like, Nyayazmi, it's coming.
Yeah.
You know? But when it then comes, like, and na into ofuna ubuzwa yintoni enothusayo.
Let me ask you this now.
I think
Okay, before you guys ask each other questions,
Yeah.
navigators, if you find yourself in that in-between space, that very confusing space, where you are maybe checked out, maybe the one thing I can tell you is that it's a very normal part of it. There is nothing wrong with what you are going through. It is supposed to be messy. It is supposed to be confusing because nothing is going as usual. Nothing is routine and nothing is familiar. But guess what? There is the other side to it. And if you can write to us, maybe you should write in the comment space how you describe your situation, to be interesting to see how people feel in that space. And if you are such a person, do write to us on the comment space. We'd love to hear from you guys. And in moving forward with the conversation, because unfortunately time is limited, I know you guys would love to have this conversation for the longest time. We have to come back and maybe say, you are here seated. There has to be things that you guys did to cope with the situation, to cope with the very volatile situation of not knowing whether I should ask him, where are you? Or is he going to come and fix this gate? Or is he not going to come fix the geyser, but the kids are washing with cold water? All that things that are not properly defined. How did you maybe cope with that confusing stage? What sort of things did you do to make sure that you come out on the other side as a whole person and not too broken?
I think for me, was a call. A light bulb moment came from a call from a friend who's a minister who said to me, Luntu, I actually prepare couples in my church for divorce.
Damn.
I was like, what? He's like, no. I counsel couples for divorce. And I also counsel couples after divorce. Because divorce, we can't change. It happens.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, for me, it was also self-discovery. I did a lot of writing.
I love that.
I did a lot of reading. I did a lot of therapy. I did a lot of self-help, buying self-help books and then analyzing where I am. And I did a lot of conversations like with friends where we would talk about topics like this. And I had friends at that time, they were also going through their in-betweens. And they would be like, you're so bold. Mchana. Like, you're so okay, you're so healed. And Navigator, I am not the person who will say, leave. Because I want you to work it out. And in our state of checking out, we checked out, but you're also hopeful that there can be a turnaround. When you then see, but we are in year 3, we're in year 4, nothing is, like, a context of
Hi
change.
guys, Nasos and Beck would check out for years. I'm sorry, like I don't have that pleasure of time.
Kalakwana, you were never given that pleasure of time.
If you can control it, sometimes it's out of your control.
Well,
And
I
also
just
you-
feel like, no, but I just feel like being in limbo, you know?
Yeah, but
Is,
also,
is,
But
is,
you find yourself in that limbo because hence I'm saying for me, my checkout, I then, because then lahlekene noluntu.
yeah.
oh,
And I used to look at myself in the mirror and I could not recognize myself.
And also, Luntu, don't forget, Ndobana, people will take advantage of you at your most vulnerable. So they will know what their intentions are in terms of, I have checked out and I'm no longer here. But while they are still here. So that gives you hope, right? And people will take advantage of that. Ndobana, at least I know Ndobana will say around it in Dimfuni Potlev. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because I know he's gonna get it. Because I know he's gonna go get it because he's still invested. While I know I'm not. I just want to get drunk right now. So do not forget, as a person and as you navigate through life, Ndobana, when you are at your lowest, that is when the devil will come for you, and then when you're at your highest, that's when the devil will still come. Manage your highs and manage your lows. It's a difficult thing to do, but always be cognizant of the fact that not everyone wishes the best for you, and people will always try to take advantage of you when you are at your highest or even at your lowest, because either or you are happy enough to miss that you are being taken advantage of, or you are at your lowest and depressed enough to not even care that you are being taken advantage of.
Sure.
I love that. And then, I want to reflect, and I'm coming to you, Mawet, right? My personal tactic
Yeah,
for survival
yeah,
in the checking out phase in between was boundaries, good old boring boundaries.
yeah,
Yeah. The first thing for me that I needed to teach myself was that this person is no longer somebody I regard as my husband.
for sure.
Because it had gotten to that point, right? Physically, we were not living apart. We were living apart,
Yeah.
right? I had moved out and I left him in the house.
Yeah,
And for me, the second layer to that boundary happened post the divorce, because I could see, listen, we were together for 11 years. So there were character things.
you know your person.
There were things that I knew he was exactly what you said, where I couldn't trust myself whether I'm agreeing to them because I'm depressed enough, or whether or not I'm trying to show him you lost a good thing, And so in between all of those, I realized we were toxic because the bad language did not stop. And I used the bad language that was forwarded to me in instances where I didn't feel I deserved it.
Yeah,
I went and got a protection order to say, let's not have any communication.
Yeah.
Ne? And my healing is more important to me. And
Your
I
mental
will
health
not
is
be able
important.
to heal if you still have access to me.
Yeah,
You still have that power over me that I sometimes want to look for sense in you when I have been exposed to your senselessness, in ways that I know that even you can't control your senselessness at times.
don't realize you're being
So
vulnerable
for
towards
me,
this person.
boundaries
Yeah.
were the biggest thing, and
Yeah.
boundaries landed me here.
Yeah.
They made it easy for me to move on. They made it easy for me to know that I am on my own. I'm not expecting this person to now come and fix my light bulbs, although I know you'd be happy to. But I needed to regulate me first by making sure I create a physical boundary.
Oh, and best believe,
know what I
Ndobana, he would look forward to you saying, Ndobana, except the camera's not working.
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, it had to
Superman
be
then.
for my healing. I knew I was never going to heal in a space where
Yeah.
we are still talking.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that had other ramifications for co-parenting, but
Yeah,
I needed to choose one, and I had to choose me. But I mean, in terms of your coping, what survival tactics did you apply in that space, in that in-between space where things are confusing. You know, you don't know whether you hold each other accountable or not. You know, how was that for you?
Letting go for the obsession to control somebody else.
Love that.
Yeah, just let go.
I love that because a lot of men don't understand that. If you've been their wife, they always think she's been my wife. You know, I can control her. I love that. Please go on. Losing the obsession of wanting to control her.
Absolutely. And now you feel there is a whole lot of baggage that has been lifted off your shoulders, right? And when they start reaching out to you, you almost in a game playing kind of effort to say, I am so glad that I'm able to control the way I respond. This is something that is that deserves to be met with my wrath.
Yeah.
I'm so not going to allow myself to stoop that low.
You are so zen.
I'm going to be poised and I'm going to respond in a measured fashion. And I realized that the more I did that, I was becoming a better person.
I love that.
And this thing has got a ripple effect as well. It's got a positive effect. You know, I once read somewhere that a sweet answer turns away wrath. All right? Yeah, so I've seen it manifest in my own life. That if I try and woosa, I try and outdress myself from that edge to burst and snap and yell. I just control it and respond calmly, and it actually drives an effort in somebody else as well to do the same. And then you realize that you are starting to be this tech team. You know,
it's
you are
amicable.
meant to be enemies, but somehow
It is amicable,
You're
this
starting to look at each other differently. To
Yeah.
say, oh, all right, actually, you know, I think I can do this. I think we're better off.
Yeah.
You know, apart from each other, and we can collaborate much better.
I love
and
that.
there's much more experienced teamwork than there was while we were still in the union.
I love that because I think it also then brings, you know, something else I wanted to speak to, which is also something that I survived with. You know, there was this obsession. There is an obsession when you've been married of how do we then communicate? I'm calling her because I need to speak to him because, or somebody when they are with their third party, which is, we're not blaming the third party.
Yeah.
But you can see it in the theatrics of how the call is taken. But, there's someone there and you being postured as this baby mama or whatever the case might be. One of the things I did in protecting my feelings was to make sure that now communication is written between us. So this whole thing of just picking up instant access, you know, picking up the phone and speaking to me was immediately cancelled, you know, to a point where I just said, okay, communication is going to be via emails, not text. Because if I'm blocking you, I'm going to block off phone, block off WhatsApp, block off. Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, it had to be, it has to be, write an email, dear Banban.
Yeah.
Right?
Hi.
Can I tell you something? That
Kind regards.
even that at some
So
point didn't work.
business-like.
Bro.
But even that didn't work because whatever would have been said, good text would have been said on the emails. We're at a point now where the email has to be sent to the lawyer. The kids are going to need this because everybody is here for themselves. I need to protect my space
How the hell did we
and
get
my
here,
peace.
bruv?
But we do get there. It's okay for us to get there. Because we must remember we are married to our peace. Like you want your peace for yourself, right?
Yeah.
So at whatever cost it comes. Do you
I know the levels to which people have been pushed. It leaned more towards exactly what you're saying, but now we can only communicate through email and through lawyers.
It has to be managed communication.
And the thing for me was, bro, like how toxic was the ish that you guys were going through that you can't now just be amicable. Even if you're gonna say, well, okay, you're not trying to make the relationship work out for the sake of the kids, but just your communication, like, is it for everyone? You know, I've never, okay, I suppose it's never gotten to that.
I think
It's never gotten to that. So I've never gotten to
To a point where you can't even. I think for me,
Understand it, yeah, man.
I think for me, as you must know, I'm a very decisive person, by the way.
Yeah.
So for me, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Sure.
And let's protect ourselves from trying to force it to work, right? So it works. I mean, currently, because I think the confusion, guys, we know our partners.
Yeah.
So you give this person access to say you can call, here is the phone.
Give them a thumb, they take the
Now
whole
this
arm.
person, they take the whole arm. They will call. You don't answer because, of course, now you're busy with something else.
Yeah.
But you will surely return the call. But they create an emergency out of this one call. Then one call turns to 20 calls. Do you understand? Then when it's 20 missed calls already, now you're annoyed and it's unfair to you, right?
Okay.
But
I get you.
there's a whole.
Flip.
That's when you
Flip.
then like, okay, I'm not going to teach you that communication is awkward if you push it this far. But what I will do is that I will just close the door. You know what I mean? And then I will just close the door because I don't like 20 missed calls. Even if you want to speak to your daughters, I don't enjoy having 20 missed calls. And this is about my peace. Because we failed. You know what I mean? So, and I'm saying to a navigator who's watching, it is okay to have a hard hand in protecting your peace. You understand?
Absolutely.
What's weird is trying to think you can fix something with somebody that you failed to make things work with when you are outside that marriage. You know what I mean? I think it's a bit of a...
That's flipping profound.
You cannot, if you have not been able to convince this person to cooperate with you for
Whilst
the
in-
years you were together,
How do you
it is
expect
also a very unrealistic position to assume.
Or
News for you.
expectation.
Viwe,
It is.
I've got news for you. It is so possible.
actually, Bapa
is.
Seka
Okay, guys,
and
different
Tipos.
strokes.
It is so possible.
They needed different strokes for different.
It was a
Love
different
it.
strokes for sure.
I love it. I mean, if it is possible for me, God is yet to show me. But a navigator, as I sit here, I want you to encourage you to do what works for you.
Yeah.
Do what works for you. It's okay to set boundaries if you are intentional on your healing.
No, boundaries are not meant to destroy relationships. They're actually meant to protect them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's profound.
So you can protect your co-parenting space by setting boundaries.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Yeah, man.
Love
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah, don't do as you wish. Don't bully anybody. You know, you don't own
Into
anybody.
your
If
will.
there's
Nobody
anything
owns
your will.
nobody.
that this taught me is that I don't own anybody.
I love that because you don't.
And I can speak my truth without causing harm
I know.
to
Exactly,
the
bro.
other.
I know.
Exactly, bro.
I know.
I don't have to be nasty.
Nobody
I don't
has
have
to
make
be.
snide remarks.
You don't always
I
have
don't
to.
have
You
to-
don't always have to respond.
To hoist camp.
You don't always have to
The
respond.
response.
I love Brian. I
You
love
don't
what
always
Brian
have to
is saying.
respond.
Silence is very important.
Silence is very
I
important,
love
bro.
that.
Yes.
And silence doesn't mean you are stupid.
There are times when you end up in a heated conversation, when I've ended up in heated conversations, as opposed to the person that I was who would listen to respond, I then became the person that started to listen to understand. And then I would take my time
Not to respond.
and say, Indobana, can't be Zabuyela kuwe.
I love that.
I acknowledge what you are saying. In fact, I hear what you're saying and I acknowledge your feelings. Ndicela ukunipha ixesha. I'll come back to you and respond so that you don't respond in the heat of the moment.
That's
Because
a
if you-
lesson, navigator.
If you respond in the heat of the moment, that person is going to think, Indobana, you're just listening to respond. And now it's going to be.
Absolutely.
I love
However,
that, guys.
You're gonna apply your mind.
you have to apply your mind to
Can
certain
we all
situations.
learn to delay our responses,
Exactly.
especially in
Exactly.
issues that are
Yeah,
in
bro.
issues of the heart? Can we learn
Yeah.
to slow down a bit? And I too need to learn a bit from there.
I'm learning because mna guys, navigator, ndiyawubasa umlilo.
Chesa,
Futhi ndiwucishe umlilo mandifuna uwucisha.
guys,
But I'm also learning, and I'm seeing how you're responding, and now I'm understanding the psychology because my ex-partner at times we go toe to toe,
same here.
toe to toe, and kuphethe
Well, because why not?
fire with fire.
Yeah,
ndikhomba,
ke? Azishe once.
And your silence doesn't mean that you don't care.
But I've also noticed that at times he does not respond.
I hear what you're saying.
And now I'm now understanding the psychology behind it because I'm asking pertinent questions. And I am frustrated, first of all. I'm not going to take my frustration out on anyone but him. Because right now, there are things that we agreed on.
Yeah.
There are people that we made. And I am not going to take my frustration out on his mom, his uncles, his dad, his sisters. No, I'm going to take my frustration out on him. Usapila mos.
I love what Nobulundu is saying from what you've said. I just have one short question for you, and I just want you to answer me directly. And now that you've learned that, maybe in the silence there was wisdom, which you didn't read. Maybe you read it as arrogance or
I did.
being detached and so on. What are the chances of making up again? Okay. I wanted it.
Resurrect Queen Elizabeth.
Okay.
This one is spicy.
Okay.
This one is posh spice from the spice.
Guys, I had to pose the question, but also we can speak
Forgiveness
about
doesn't mean reconciliation.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, bro.
I can forgive you.
forgiveness does not mean access as well. It doesn't mean I now open up to you. You can forgive somebody, but
Forgive
wish
your
them
abuser.
well.
Do not forget who they are.
And I can forgive you and still love you from Zanin.
Okay, ndibendi semond.
Ubusemuntu.
I love it. And as a closing question,
With the love of the Lord.
I listen.
At distance.
Buyelani up. Come back here. We're about to close. You guys are too wild.
ma'am.
Come back.
Sorry, teacher.
I want to ask, yes, I am.
Oh, CIC.
Yes, CIC is me. My question to you is, yes, we delayed going for the kids and so on. And I love how we come up with those stories. But there's self.
Yeah.
There is a saying in English, ne, that says, if you love, you will never be lonely if you love the person that you're lonely with.
Choose yourself, yeah.
There is that moment where suddenly, shucks, I'm alone. When did you feel it the most?
It hit me the moment I looked. It was one morning, Navigator. I was going to work. So I stood in the mirror and I could not recognize myself. I looked at my eyes. I could not recognize myself. I said to my eldest daughter, take a picture. I looked at the picture. I looked at my eyes. I still have a picture of that. And I realized I've lost myself. I don't know who I am in this marriage. I don't know who I am. If people would ask me what my favorite color is, I wouldn't know. There's a lot about me that I wouldn't know. I'm not as confident, I'm not as bubbly as I used to be. And I'm hiding away from my friends. And I'm hiding away from people that love me unconditionally. I have every excuse in the book. And for me, recognizing that was the first step I took to say, okay, how do I get to Nolundu back?
Love that. We're talking loneliness. Now, forget logistics. Forget everything that we did together. You know, that moment where you're like, yeah, ibuda yanqwakuza ngoku. Ibuda, ayina life, ibuda ibambiyeka. Ibicifana uba this is joyful. I'll get to have usphokazi nobabalwa, right? But that there is still that lingering loneliness. How did it hit you, Mawethu? If it ever did.
It did.
And how did you cope with
It
it?
did while I was still going through the storm, because what happened was, while our separation was in progress, there was a condition that resulted her to move out to another town.
Yeah.
Now she has to move with the kids.
Yeah.
Today you have this house full of kids. It's
And
got
laughter
nanny,
and-
it's got warm winter meals and everything. The next thing, you've got that space all available to yourself.
Shucks.
You've got
Now
echoes.
you can identify. Yes, it echoes.
Shucks.
It echoes very loudly.
You've got echoes.
You've got
Unevisa chomi.
what used to be their toy room, what used to be,
Let me engage you. Unevisa Buddha yam.
unevisa awufuni ukuyisebenzisa because
Uyitshisa ngoku, uyitshisa ngathi idombazi.
jonga iyakucrowda kwaloo visa leyo.
Uyitshisa ngathi
Guys, the
idombazi.
grass is never always green on the other side.
Uthele ubutshama boy or that desire
To even
to be
try to
delinquent,
charm.
to be delinquent.
So uyambona umuntu
It's not there. In fact, you hate yourself for even perceiving.
You want to go to the supermarket unxibe pijama, bra. Ukuze ungabukeki.
Look, that is a very dark space to be in.
Ah.
Yeah, it's a very dark space to be in. I remember I was a long distance runner at the time. I was a road runner, and I could not eat. Yeah, I for some reason I could not take in food. I could not ingest anything. Yet I ran for my life.
Yeah, Cabello. Buga too.
Yes.
No Buga too. I ran for my life.
Angi, she, see.
All right, let's go to Brian.
Ke batla
Brian, you seem to have a lot to say. Did you ever feel lonely? Because we also know you got married again. Right?
Me, of course I felt lonely.
Did you feel lonely when?
Absolutely.
he moved provinces.
Absolutely. Let me tell you, the first time I felt lonely was, and it was a series of things that happened because I was separated and I still had my weekly visits, well, picking up my kids on a daily basis. But it hit me the day I had an accident, right? And I couldn't pick up my kids. And I had a responsibility towards my kids. And I must go and fetch my kids and spend the Saturday with them. That 40 kilometers that day made me the loneliest I've ever felt. I crossed over different highways. I even thought of throwing myself over one. That's how deep it got in terms of depression in Dobana. You are alone.
Wow.
I walked in tears, spent the day with my kids, walked back in tears,
Let's talk about
and slept at home at my sister's place. In Yemezizilapa, I felt alone.
streaming down your face.
Alone.
I can relate.
Are those moments?
Hey, behind the
So if you wanna know loneliness, I'm China, it's knowing in the Bana, I have no other option but to just keep moving forward, and that's exactly what I did. Kept moving forward.
I feel
All you
like
can do is keep moving forward in that moment of loneliness. Best believe me. All you can do is keep moving forward, because when you hit rock bottom, all you can do is stand up. All you can do is climb.
There's no way.
I felt lonely though at in the marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's even. Yeah.
It's painful, but it happens.
Look.
I felt lonely in the marriage. I became muted. So a child does this, does that, mute. And that's how I recognize when I'm very sad, because I'm a very talkative person.
You think?
When I was getting married, my aunt said to my husband, if you don't hear her on the corridors singing, you must know there's something you haven't done right.
Yeah. There's something wrong.
And at then I was like, oh my God, why is Maka's like sharing my deepest, you know what I mean? Like, why, making me, you know what I mean? But those words rang when I saw who I had become. I had a very bad habit. We had carpets in our room, no? Not running away from him, but, just put my pillows on the floor and sleep there, right? I felt that low and that lonely, and it's not something I could put in words, but it was just this deep, and that's how I relate to you when you talk about when you lose yourself to a point where, Ubambi also, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Ubambi, but
yeah.
also I lost my literal voice. I was muted, and the person who reflected this to me was a nanny we had, because when she came later to work for me, and she's like, is this who you are? Because she'd only started working for me when life was dark for me, And she's like, but you were so quiet, Sissy. I didn't believe, I can't put these two people together.
Yeah. Polar opposites, north and south in China.
This would happen. Something would happen. It would be big. You would just walk past it, say nothing. So loneliness can be experienced actually in the institution of marriage. It's not something that hits you once you've left. But I mean, for somebody who's going through this, we always come back to you to say, look, loneliness is going to be part of your journey. Yeah. It will reach you at a different part. Mine was inside. Zaza ndaphuma ndapopa in my way. You know,
Yeah.
I still went through counseling. I still did all of that for 2
Yeah,
years.
and
But
that's
I
very
mean,
important as well. And detachment
yes,
about
I did do
counseling.
counseling, and I did it
Counseling
for
is
my
important.
kids as well. So I think
They are
at
free
least in the
services.
aftermath of the marriage, I knew what I was working towards.
Yeah.
In the marriage, it was confusing, man. Yey, awuyazi noba usebenzelaphi, you know what I mean? But we are almost coming to the end of the episode, and I want to give you guys a chance to reflect on what we've spoken about here today. And I want you to reflect, maybe having somebody who's watching who might be going through it. You know, what words would you want to share with them, Nolond?
I would want to just say it is normal, navigator. The in-between years are very normal. You can work on yourself. And if someone had given me this advice, if you were to say, work on yourself, find hobbies, find what you love. Because when this isn't working, at the end of the day, you have you to go to bed with. You have you in the silent moments with you. So if you then find your voice, I found mine in writing. You know, I found how I wanted in writing stories. So you find a hobby, you find yourself, you bring yourself back to self. But you're not crazy, you're not going mad. It is very
Don't have a
normal.
midlife crisis.
You're not
Yeah.
in a midlife
Yeah,
crisis.
yeah.
It is part of life, and it is actually part of living. And I think what Brian did say is when you reach that lowest moment at the deep of the night and tears are cascading down your eyes, the only thing you can do from there is get up, wash your face, and just continue and just trudge along. That's all.
Love that. Love that. Wes?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a nice closing note. Yeah, all I can say is to the navigator going through the most, understand that this is your journey and this is your lot, and your lot can never be compared to that which belongs to someone else's. Don't try to do things to manipulate the outcome you want. Sometimes it's okay to be a blank canvas and see how this is going to pan out for you. But I'd love to leave them. It's just a 2-3 liner. That I don't know why I have to read this. Maybe I may speak out of 10 out of context, but it's a post on X. It says a disagreement at 2 p.m. doesn't cancel dinner at 6 p.m. A lot of people treat conflict like it erases the love in a relationship. One disagreement happens and suddenly kindness disappears. Effort, communication, and now you have two people acting like enemies.
Oh, yes.
Thank you, Wes. Thank you for that.
It's like a mic drop.
Bro.
Yep.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
like what the hell do I say after that?
You have to say something. You've been there.
Look, I think,
I don't think he ever runs out of anything to say.
Hi, ever.
come on, man. Yeah, pressure, guys, really. I think, if at all anything, what I've learned, first of all, we're navigating through this series, and we are navigating individually through our lives as we sit here. And without lying, without fear, without favor, without, bootlicking, the truth is that I found a certain sense of therapy sitting with this group of people and navigating through certain things. And I sincerely hope that now, you are finding some sort of solace, okanye you are finding the courage to speak. So we invite you, first of all, to tell us your story. Like, subscribe is always the nice thing. Comment is always great, but also share your experience, because someone else might be going through what you're going through. And let's be very honest, community, right, amongst abantu that have a certain amount of trust and faith within each other always seems to help each other. That is how township economies are made. That is how big economies are made. And this is a friendship economy that we have here.
Absolutely.
Mm.
This is a navigating
Love
life
it.
economy
Love
that
it.
we have here. So you're more than welcome to hit us up with your posts. I think personally from today's episode, what I'm taking out is that, after the in-between, there's a new version of you that is required, right? And the new version of you in life as you started requires you to let go of the old. You can't expect yesterday's blessings with today's prayers. If uthandaza namhlanje, you must expect imithandazo yanamhlanje to be fulfilled, not eyayizolo. You are praying for something different today. You're praying for water today. Yesterday you were praying for air. You've got air. So today you pray for water, and so the new version of you, I think now what I'm taking out of here is that it requires a new version. A new you requires a new version of you.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, man. Like, subscribe. Check us out.
Thank you.
6 o'clock. Wow.
Thank you. Thank you for that beautiful closeout, Brian. Navigator, all I can say, if you find yourself in that space, and we call it the in-between, please call it out for yourself. Yeah. Say it out loud. I am in the in-between. Because if you do so, you will understand why it is messy. And you will not expect anything beautiful out of it. It is supposed to be chaotic, and you still have to hold yourself and find yourself in the chaos. Navigators, a huge thank you to my guests. Do I call it guests? To my crew, to my cast, to my
family,
whatever.
Familia.
A huge thank you to you, Nolundu. Thank you. You're beautiful. Wes, sharp bro. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Wes. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a wrap.